Big drama and unforgettable acting are all fine and dandy, but sometimes you just want a good thrill. Action fans can look forward to some promising movies in the near future. Find out which ones and what you can expect from them in this original episode. Marvel Jesus, aka the mercenary with the big mouth, aka Deadpool, is back, this time in the company of arch-rival Wolverine himself. The adventure of the odd duo should certainly cause chaos in the Marvel Universe and result in us seeing many familiar characters again. The first trailers already promise nothing less than plenty of allusions to other movies. It has likewise been announced that the new part will also receive an R rating, so we can once again look forward to a lot of blood and coarse meta-gags. The crazy multiverse adventure Deadpool and Wolverine will make its debut in cinemas on July 26, 2024. The Crow returns. 30 years after the release of the dark revenge thriller The Crow, a reboot is now in the pipeline, in which its star Bill Skarsgård will take on the role of Eric Draven. In terms of plot, the film will be based on the original from the 90s and tell the story of a man who rises from the dead to avenge his and his wife's death. Although the first trailer was not particularly successful in convincing fans, it does promise a dark and extremely gory vengeance trip. The Crow will be released in theaters on August 23, 2024. In 2024, another Spider-Man villain will make his big screen debut with Kraven the Hunter. The film was originally scheduled for release in 2023, but ended up being postponed to 2024. Although this dampened the euphoria of fans, the movie starring Aaron Taylor Johnson is still eagerly awaited. At the center of the film is big game hunter Kraven, who is considered one of the best-known antagonists of Spider-Man. The movie, directed by J.C. Chandor, has been given an R rating, and the first images suggest bloody, hard-hitting action. Alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe, Christopher Abbott, and Ariana DeBose will also be part of the cast. After several delays, Kraven the Hunter will now be released on December 13, 2024. With Captain America 4: Brave New World, Sam Wilson will finally get his own solo adventure as the new Captain America. Just like Winter Soldier, the film is set to be more of a thriller. In addition to Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Harrison Ford will also be seen succeeding William Hurt in the role of Thunderbolt Ross. Liv Tyler, Rosa Salazar, and Tim Blake Nelson will be part of the cast as well. The fourth movie will not be directed by the Russo brothers this time, but by Julius Onah, who has previously been able to impress with smaller productions. Captain America 4 will be released in theaters on February 14, 2025. Ridley Scott's epic Gladiator is considered to be one of the greatest classics of its genre and wowed movie fans worldwide. Now, 24 years later, we can finally look forward to the sequel, which comes with a remarkable cast. 28-year-old rising star Paul Mescal, who was nominated for an Oscar for his role in the drama Aftersun, has been cast in the lead role of Lucius. Also joining the cast, Hollywood favorite Pedro Pascal, Spartacus actor Peter Mensah, and Connie Nielsen. We will also get to see Denzel Washington, who, according to initial information, is set to play a mysterious businessman. The story of Gladiator 2 is set many years after Part 1 and focuses on Lucius, the nephew of Commodus and son of Lucilla. Based on initial information, we can expect not only tough gladiator fights, but also plenty of intrigue. The presumably visually stunning spectacle awaits us in cinemas starting November 22, 2024. Brilliant action and spectacular choreography are guaranteed here. With the Indonesian independent action film The Raid, director Gareth Evans created one of the best representatives of its genre, which is still very popular to this day. This was followed by another part, the Netflix film Apostle and the series Gangs of London. Next up is Tom Hardy in the role of Detective Walker in the film Havoc, where he fights his way through the underworld to save the son of a politician. The other cast members include Forrest Whitaker, Timothy Olyphant, and Jessie May Lee. The movie, directed by Evans, has actually been in the making since 2021 and was supposed to be released directly on Netflix in 2023, but nothing came of it. Initial rumors now suggest that the time will finally come in the second half of 2024. Havoc could celebrate its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival in September of this year, and then be available on Netflix shortly afterwards. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Director Eli Roth will bring one of the most popular shooters of all time to the big screen on August 9th. Borderlands will tell the story of the notorious treasure hunter Lilith. She reluctantly returns to her home planet and embarks on a search for an alien vault that supposedly contains advanced technology. The adaptation of the famous game series features a phenomenal cast. For example, multiple Oscar winner Cate Blanchett will take on the leading role. Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Edgar Ramirez, and Jamie Lee Curtis will also be involved. The first images promise varied entertainment and black humor in the style of the games, most likely in keeping with the motto, shut off your brain and have fun. The MCU Project Blade is likely to remain one of the most interesting projects that Marvel will be involved in over the next few years. However, the reboot of the vampire story has repeatedly made negative headlines over the past few months, most recently with several delays and countless script revisions. Currently, Blade is due to be released in movie theaters on November 7, 2025. This time, Mahershala Ali will play the popular lead role, which was previously immortalized by Wesley Snipes. In an interview with Deadline, director Yann Demange has already revealed that the action film will be rated R, so there is sure to be plenty of blood spilled. John Wick Presents Ballerina is the first movie spin-off from the John Wick universe. Ana de Armas will play the titular Ballerina, who is on a quest for revenge against her family's murderers. She will also meet Keanu Reeves as John Wick himself, who will act as a kind of mentor for the ballerina and provide support for a few action sequences. Underworld director Len Wiseman will be in charge of directing. He will be assisted by Chad Stahelski, who has been granted creative oversight of the entire franchise. After several postponements, John Wick Ballerina will now be released on June 6, 2025. The Mission Impossible franchise is set to be continued in 2025. After Part 7 ended with a cliffhanger, Mission Impossible 8 is likely to once again focus on Ethan Hunt and his team's fight against the so-called Entity. Of course, Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, and Ving Rhames will all be involved again, but a number of new actors are also joining the sequel, such as Trammell Tillman, known from the Apple series Severance. Part 8 was actually planned to be released in theaters in 2024. However, the actors and writers' strike in 2023 temporarily brought the production to a standstill. The movie is currently slated for release on May 23, 2025. With Thunderbolts, we get the Suicide Squad equivalent from Marvel. The film revolves around a group of mercenaries who have already been introduced in previous productions. For example, Super Soldier John Walker, played by Wyatt Russell, who already played a central role in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Black Widow's sister Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh. In addition to these two, the movie's cast also includes other famous names. Among others, Olga Kurylenko as Taskmaster, Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, and David Harbour as Red Guardian will be among the cast. The Thunderbolts are regarded as the anti-Avengers and, like the Suicide Squad, are likely to set out on a particularly daring mission. Above all, we wonder whether Daniel Bruhl will return in his role as Baron Zemo. After all, he founded the group in the comics. The mission of the Thunderbolts opens in cinemas on May 2, 2025. The end is in sight. After more than 24 years, the extremely successful The Fast and the Furious film series is now reaching its conclusion. Fast and Furious 11 is said to mark a return to the origins of the franchise. Instead of global missions, this time the focus is on one last big coup. As things stand, it can be assumed that the cast of Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, and Jason Statham will make a comeback. However, Universal seems to be considering dropping Jason Momoa from the movie and introducing a whole new villain. The budget is also being cut. As Fast X fell short of its financial expectations, the new film's cost is said to be no more than $200 million, which is over one-third less than its predecessor. According to director Louis Leterrier, Fast and Furious 11 will be released exactly 25 years after Part 1. That would be on June 18, 2026. So, as you can see, we have a lot to look forward to in terms of action. Which movie are you most excited about? And have we perhaps forgotten a movie that absolutely belongs on this list? Let us know in the comments, and like the video if you enjoyed our little overview.